Hello there. What I'm going to talk about today, something that has been on my mind and I think it really needs to be talked about because it's so important. And I was thinking about it because I was actually reading another woman's post about my post, one of my posts, and just the incredible level of misunderstanding, misinterpretation that she is perceiving because of her own filters, right? And that causes a really big problem because when women come to my page, right, and they see my work for the first time, one of the things that they may perceive is that what I am teaching women is to really play it small, right? The as an example, like in the 1950s housewife, like not like tippy toeing around, and it is kind of like that walking on eggshells thing, which I did a video on recently, where it's like you're always trying to not step on a man's ego, right? You don't want to step on a man's ego and make him react, and so to do that you've got to kind of contain yourself and play it small, and that's how to attract a man, and that's how to inspire his devotion. And that's completely wrong, right? A really feminine woman who is emotionally responsible isn't playing anything small. She is so much in her emotional fullness, right? She is fully expressing everything, every single emotion that she has, like from insecurity to neediness, to anger, to sadness, to unworthiness, to shame, everything. And all of it is fucking beautiful. And all of it inspires a man's devotion. And she's not holding any of it back at all, right? When a woman is in her feminine and she's being emotionally responsible with her emotions, there is no holding back. There's just letting go. And the only reason a woman needs to hold back and not and try to like tiptoe around a man's ego is because she's in her masculine and she doesn't know how to be in her feminine, right? And when a woman's in her masculine, there's no amount of smallness and self-containment that is going to be enough to not cause a man to react, right? In some way or another, right? Like whether he's reacting externally or whether he's kind of feeling it internally, because his body is programmed to not interact with masculine women, and it's going to warn him when he is, regardless of whether she's being like really masculine and like telling him like, hey, go do the dishes for me, or whether it's just a tiny like little stuff down but still kind of getting an outcome a little bit, and it's like soft and it's covered in all this sugar and spice, but it's still energetically masculine, right? There's no amount of self-containment and putting niceness on top of it that is going to inspire a man's devotion and cause him to enjoy interacting with her, right? And so that's where women really go wrong, is this whole containment of their masculine, because they don't even know what really being in their feminine even means, especially when it comes to communicating their needs and often even communicating their feelings, right? And this is where the misunderstanding comes, because a woman who's really just 100% inner feminine, she's not trying to get any kind of outcome at all. She's just expressing fully, like 100% in her fullness, right? But it's got to be emotionally responsible too, right? And that comes with being in your feminine. It's so emotionally responsible, and to a man, to be in the presence of that, it's just like, holy shit, I just want to serve you. I just want to make you feel good, right? And so there is no containment in that kind of respect, as long as it's emotionally responsible and as long as she's in her feminine. And that changes everything, right? That really changes everything. And it's sad that women think that, like, there's still so many women that think that the path to wholeness is by becoming larger, but like in a more masculine way, right? Like it's not. It's just so it's just going to be so draining, and they're going to end up so disappointed, right? They're going to be so disappointed with men. But the path is also not making yourself smaller either, right? It's about becoming bigger and more you and more radiant and more vulnerable and more everything, but just with your feminine energy, right? And that's the most fucking beautiful thing that a man could ever witness. And so that means blowing through all those guards, all that containment, all of those, that fear of disapproval, all of that trying to get approval, right? All of that stuff needs to go. There's so much shit, so much stuff that's blocking that full expression, that full beautiful expression of a feminine woman, where she's limiting herself so much, and she's also limiting a man's devotion so much, because he can't feel her heart fully, right? And if he does feel her heart fully, it's, you know, probably she's not being fully emotionally responsible with it. So it's not about, yeah, like, it's dealing with them on my own. Yeah, like, it doesn't burden a man to, it burdens an immature, a really immature man, a man who's really in his feminine, to hear a woman's feelings in her full expression, right? That's a burden for him, because he's still a child. He's still Peter Pan. He doesn't, you know, a devoted masculine man gets off on serving a feminine woman, making her feel good, giving love to her heart, you know, holding space for her vulnerable feelings, right? He gets off on that. It's the most amazing feeling in the world. And so, you know, there's a lot, but the problem is there's a lot of Peter Pans running around, right? That's part of the problem. And so when a woman, even if a woman does do that, and a lot of women really have trouble with this, they really, really have trouble with truly being vulnerable and fully just expressive. But when they do with those kind of men, they're going to get bad kind of reactions, right? And then they think that, okay, I need to deal with all this shit on myself, deal with all this shit by myself. When really, you know, that just takes away the most amazing gift for a man, is to feel her heart, right? So I really want women to understand this. This is, you know, it's not even about like withholding judgments and, like, you know, withholding. It's not about withholding. It only feels like withholding if you're stuck in your masculine and you have no idea how to get out. Then it feels like withholding and containing. But when you are able to shift fully in your feminine and you know how to stay there, it doesn't feel the same way anymore, right? Especially when you become confident in just being able to be you. Like, imagine just being able to express everything without trying to get any kind of outcome at all, and just having this deep knowing that your man, men are going to want to serve you and want to make you feel good, and want to hold space for you, and just be there for you, right? Having that really deep belief, that feeling of worthiness, that, you know, I'm worthy of this, and I know that if I just am me, I'm just being in my fullness, that men are going to want to serve me. Of course they will, because I'm worthy of it, right? And so it's not about avoiding disrespecting a man, right, and tippy-toeing around his ego. It's about exalting a man. It's about exalting men, right, by staying in your feminine, and that naturally makes men want to serve such women, right? So it's not about the tippy-toeing. It's about the you know, just the celebration of men, and the trust in men, that, and respect for men, that they're just going to want to serve you, and that you don't need to do any of that other crap that really you don't want to be doing anyway. You just want to be expressing the fullness of who you are, all of the feelings that you're feeling. And I didn't want to go more than 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. So this is, you know, the core of what I teach women to do. If this is what you want to become this woman, right? This kind of woman who is no longer trying to do anything. You're just being all the time in your fullness, in the fullness of all of your emotions, and they're always emotionally responsible, and you're not worried anymore about containing yourself in that unhealthy kind of way, tippy-toeing around, then go to my website, relationshipyourdreams.com, and check out the Radiant Woman Academy and book a call with me, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about if the program is right for you. We'll talk about if we can definitely get you these kind of incredible results. Just it's not even about with men either, right? Of course, it's being able to inspire men and have that devotional relationship, but it's so much more than that. It's just about that freedom to be you all the time, right? That freedom to be you all the time and not feeling like you have to contain yourself anymore, be someone that you're not, or inhibit yourself to be less than you really are, right? That's what it's really about. That's what we help women really understand and become and actually practice, right? Actually practice and experience and do it over and over again, and just help let women let themselves out and be seen that way fully and held fully, because a lot of women really never have been before, right? And just become comfortable being that self and doing it over and over and over again, so that it's just your natural you, right? You're outside of your prison. You're outside of your own fear prison that you've created for yourself. You can just be, you can just express. So if that's interesting to you, relationshipyourdreams.com, consider the Radiant Woman Academy. We can change your life. We can change the way that you interact with men and the world, and rebuild that trust in men and rebuild that trust in the universe, so that you can just fully be who you really are. It's relationshipyourdreams.com. I hope to hear from you. I hope to do a call with you.